Thank you, Can Corla. And excuse me, but I'm after chasing to get here. But first of all, can I thank Sinn Féin for bringing forward this motion to reverse planned fuel increases. Minister, you know that the planned fuel increases are driving up the cost of inflation. So it's not just car owners, car drivers that will feel the pain, it's everybody, because that means the cost of other products will increase. And my question is, Minister, how much of an increase in the Exchequer tax take are we looking at? I mean, if the increase is of the order, because I was just having a quick look at what diesel was about 6-8 months ago, you could actually get it for about $1.50 a litre. It's now the cheapest you can get is about $1.81, and it's $1.87 in many places. And we're looking at a further increase of 10 cents by the end of October. So that's an increase in the order of 40+ cents per litre. What does the Exchequer get out of that? Would I be wrong in saying, Minister, that the Exchequer will get an extra maybe 20 cents plus per litre or even more than that? I'd be very interested if you could give us that information, because that's a huge haul for revenue and the ordinary car owner is footing the bill. Now, I had a look at some of the stats around car ownership in Sligo and Leitrim, and the most recent ones I could get were that there's approximately 30,000 cars in Sligo and about 15,000 in Leitrim. And the average number of kilometres driven per car per year in Sligo is about 17,500, similar to Donegal. Whereas in Leitrim and Roscommon, the average number of kilometres driven per car per year is over 19,000. The state average is over 16,000. So we see clearly from those figures that car owners in rural areas travel significantly longer distances, whether it's to school, to work, to childcare, to access services. So they are disproportionately hit harder, Minister. And we can't say that this is an unintended consequence, because you are well aware of those figures yourself. But, Minister, while the impact on counties like Sligo, Leitrim, Donegal, Roscommon, other rural counties is much greater than in the largely urban areas, Minister, the hit along the border is much greater. I've received quite a number of emails, and I'd just like to read a little bit from an email that I received less than a week ago. This person owns a petrol station on the border, and as he said, as I write, the current average price of diesel is 178.5 cents, that's euro, and unleaded 174.7. That's in Northern Ireland. That's according to the Consumer Council. And he said, as of today, we are 182.9 cents for both, and with a measly 2.5 cents per margin, which is not sustainable. So this, Minister, was about a week ago, and we're looking at the guts, as I said, of a 10 cent increase, and they were already 4 to 5 cents dearer. But he goes on to say, any further rises to the carbon duty or fuel duty will close the majority of border fuel stations and lead to further retail tourism in Northern Ireland. Our sales have dropped by 25% volume over the past few weeks already. This is not lower consumption, just consumers heading north to buy fuel. I understand the duty rises are to encourage people to switch to greener options. However, we will see further deprivation in border communities. We call on the government to completely remove the planned rises in fuel duty and also the planned rises in carbon duty annually to give our businesses a chance. At present, he says, we employ around 25 people. These jobs are at risk in one of the highest unemployment areas in the country. Fuel has been now, for a while, the last remaining retail product that is cheaper in the Republic than in Northern Ireland. And he says, with fuel duties and prices rising in the Republic, It will encourage thousands to head north to the likes of Newry, Enniskillen and Derry on a weekly basis to get their groceries, alcohol and now fuel. So, Minister, as I said, it's not just the rural counties that are being disproportionately hardest hit. These increases will be the death knell for many petrol stations along the border, but it's a bigger and a wider issue. People will travel north for their groceries, their alcohol, and now it'll actually almost be worth their while just to do it for fuel. You won't understand that unless you live in a border area, unless you see the circumstances there. And as I said before, you cannot say these are unintended consequences. You know this is happening, and I'm asking you, what are you going to do to see that it doesn't get worse?